Today is May 1st, 2016. We're here at Grandma's apartment in Springfield. She's going to tell a story that really happened to her. And, Mom, would you like what city was this at?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Indianapolis,
well, that's where I live, but,
Indiana.
but the story is in...
What year?
And aren't they having a primary this week?
Uh-oh. No, don't touch it, don't touch it.
Okay, Mom, would you just want to tell the story? Ready? Go.
Well, when I was working in Indianapolis for the government, well, I went home with a girlfriend that lived in Bloomington, Illinois, I think. Anyway, they lived out in the country, and their house had burned down at one time, and so things weren't quite like what they used to have. But every Saturday the girls went into the town. It was a one-horse town, and it had 2 restaurants. And so they'd go to one restaurant and eat a little bit, and the other restaurant, and that way they got to see all their old friends and walk around the square. Well, anyway, we did that. We got a ride with a neighbor, and they went at about 2 o'clock, and you can just eat so much, and I was always on a diet, so we ate and drank a Coke or something, and finally, and they wanted to walk around the square, and I don't know whether I did or not, but I know they did, to see their friends. And finally I said, well, let's go to your brother's house, like what we were supposed to meet her dad then at midnight. And it was only about 5 o'clock or earlier. And it was raining. But I had taken my jacket with me, and so I had that on. And we walked to her brother's sister. It was her sister-in-law. Her brother was in the army, and her sister-in-law and her son lived in a house. So we got there, and nobody was home. And we knocked, and we tried the door, and it was locked. And so they had a great big window, and that was our only chance if we could get through that window. And so we stood there.
You broke in?
Yeah. It rained. It was raining, and we got it up so hard. I was at my very slimmest, and the girls were tall and skinny, and we all went through that little tiny space, and we actually got in. Well, then it took us a long time to get that up, but it took us, because it was swelled up and everything, it took us that long to get that window back down. And so we got in there, and the bed wasn't made, and so we walked around it was the living room. They had they really had a lovely table and a lot of chairs, and then they had along the wall a seat like they have at the library, with just a bench thing like. And they went on into the kitchen, and every dish in the house was dirty, and pans too.
This is sounding a lot like Goldilocks, Grandma.
And so Rosetta said, well, let's do the dishes. And we said, okay. And there was 3 of us.
And this is a scary story?
No, just let her tell it.
This is the story.
About okay, go ahead. Doing dishes, go ahead. Keep going.
And so Rosetta was washing dishes, and Betty and I was drying them. And we were singing lustily every song we could think of, and finally we got down to how much is that doggy in the window. And Betty was saying, look, and somebody was at that back door and trying to, and there was no lock on it, they just had a case knife holding it in. So I pointed to Rosetta, and boy, she held that in and said, sing. So we weren't singing quite so lustily, that we sang. There we go. And and we thought, it kind of scared us a little bit, so we thought, well, we'll go in she called a neighbor to see what to do, and they said, well, call the police. And we didn't want to do that, so we went on in and we sat on that bench, and we were talking and kind of praying, and then somebody was at the bushes of the window and they were trying to get in the window. Or at least they were out there, so then they got up and called the neighbors again. They said, well, call the police. So she did, and they said, oh, well, here's what happened. He said, this week a man escaped from the insane asylum. He was a sex maniac that escaped from the insane asylum, and they just simply couldn't catch him. But for us to stay there and be a decoy, and they'd come out and get him, well, that was just the talk. And anyway, so we weren't thrilled at all, but we sat there and was kind of talking. And then it was so quite a while, and then all of a sudden we heard a back door. This is an old house, but it had a lot of outside doors. And that back door opened. They said, well, that man walked with a scoot. He couldn't lift his feet up, so we'd know who it was if we heard it. And we heard that door, and boy, we arose, and I was going to go upstairs. And they both pulled on me and said, no, that's a way to be caught up there. So we went back in that big room. Between the dining room and there's a rug in the dining room and a floor, like a hardwood floor between that, the telephone and the bedroom. So we went in the bedroom, and each one of us tried to put up that window, or all three of us together, and it was swollen and it wouldn't budge even a little bit. And we worked hard at it, because we knew he was in the house. So I was standing on the side of the bed, and Rosetta kept going over and trying to open the window. I'm sorry, I'm making a mess of it. Thank you. Well, anyway. And then all of a sudden, all of us heard scoot, scoot, scoot. And boy, Rosetta rushed over to the window, and like with a flip, and that window went clear to the top. And she and Betty climbed out and jumped off of that high porch, and I was right behind them. And I jumped out, it like to knock the stuffings out of me, because it was so high. And I thought that, I was scared to pieces, he was right there, but anyway, they all ran to the door, and I hid behind the tree and looked to see if he had to catch me, and he wasn't anywhere in sight, so I went onto the door too. They called the police, and the police hadn't even left the station, but they did come out, and they couldn't find anything, but they shut the house up. And we went home at midnight when her dad picked us up. We had to ride to the station for to be to find us.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing.
Well, I haven't finished.
You haven't finished? Well,
No.
well, keep going. You gotta shorten this.
No. All right, go. Go, Mom. Go.
Well, when we went home, I slept in the middle of those girls because it scared me to death. We three had to sleep in the bed. And the next day we went to church, and they said, well, looked like somebody had been in their house, and we knew that because the dishes were all done, but the pans weren't. But we quit washing when we got to the pans after that jiggle on the door. Anyway, we lived, and that's it.
That's it? Well, you were at the end. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing.
Well, I was
Okay.
going to tell more, and I can't even remember now.
Well,
You
Did
know,
you catch the guy?
We're at
I
10.
thought you said the cops caught the guy.
We're at 10 minutes, so I think we need to stop. These need to be short stories, Mom.
Well, that was a short
You have to do
Okay.
a redo.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, now
I
tell
get
the
big
story
building.
about your grandma.